episode 95, and there is a good amount to unpack, so if you enjoy, please drop a like and sub, and let's get into it. Roy and Liko are showing off their new discovery, not the Exceed building, but a bed and breakfast. Dot redirects their attention from the Agora Toast to the testing center, where the product they're marketing is strong spears. The kids go to check it out, coming across Ult, who has a serious demeanor for perhaps the first time this arc. It almost makes your stomach churn. While sleuthing, the two end up spotted and are quickly ushered inside. No sign up or any vetting process for this event, walk-in appointments accepted. Inside, the first demonstration is the doppelganger, Dash. She is seeking strength after failing the terrestrial course and falling behind the other copies. Makes me wonder if she was written to lose back then for this purpose, or if she was just an apt character for this moment. These items are of course similar to the Lockwium spear Spinel's been refining. Off the bat, Swanna's got a bad type matchup against Electivire. The orb showers the bird in that pink mist, giving its eyes a sharp look. Also making it a sharp shooter with a pink water gun that resembles Slacking's pink Hyper Beam, one hit KOing its opponent. We've seen Lockwium's effect on non-wild mons before, but this is the first time it's been controlled. As well, this will test the trainer's observational awareness to notice the strain it puts on their companions. Dash chalks up the exhaustion to Swanna going all out, even though it only used one move. We could have a lot of people turning a blind eye here. Roy checks in with Ult, who isn't in the mood to be a tsundere today, and dismisses him pretty quick. Ult, in his dark atmosphere, feels primed to join the Explorers, but I've learned better after accusing Anne. On stage, Coral makes a grand appearance. Love the way she energizes the scene she's in, including the audience. Meanwhile, Sidian's become a hot commodity himself, with people fawning over him like a deerling. They lock in with the kids and select them as their next challengers, which is questionable. For one, the duo refuses the spears, which, as the proctor points out, kind of defeats the purpose of having this match and would likely disappoint the audience who, well, paid nothing to be here. The Explorers are also fervently putting on airs, so why bring up to the podium folks that have all this dirt on them? All things considered, Liko still goes easy on them, and I love Coral's fake-out act. She's great at playing mind games. Seeing how the spears are collecting dust, Ult pockets one for himself, which will lead to a defining moment for him. Coral settles in and chills out with a blizzard. Back at the academy, it was no match for Flamethrower, but things have evened out. Coral's leveled up in strength and height. Sidian is more or less the same, but I'd say he's gotten more brutal. Liko is still in desperate need of a moment to shine this arc, beyond getting just some decent jabs here and there. She continues to mostly bounce off Roy, with Glalie bouncing off them. I did get a kick out of Scards unnecessarily pushing Krako out of harm's way. Here, we see more of the spear's detriments, such as Garganackle landing so hard it cracks, or Glalie beginning to freeze over. I can admire the way Liko and Roy call them out for their selfishness in front of everyone. They're willing to make more enemies, which is the exact dilemma they're trying to undo. Roy even mentions the Pokemon aren't looking at their trainers anymore. Could they be feeling a sense of betrayal? Still, what they don't mention is being framed. Maybe that's a confrontation they're saving for Spinel. The duo bust out their Terra Orbs, which would have been exciting, although Garganackle's heavy slam stops them in their tracks. Highlights as well that Liko needs a second gimmick. She is the only one here with only one. Story. Brutality comes in the form of Sidian continuing to attack the incapacitated Pokemon. Rarely does that ever occur. Can't imagine that doing their publicity any favors, but I guess this audience is cool with it. Goes to show the detriments of groupthink. Like the good old days, Cap comes to their defense, and how sick would it have been for Roy to terrestrialize him? Well, we'll never know because Ult gets yet another come to the rescue moment. He's got beef with the Explorers, their battle style, and the spears in general. He shatters it in front of everyone, which is such a strong statement, as strong as the Shadow Sneak Power Gem combo against Glalie. Coral preps her signature self-destruct, but before detonation, Chalice raises the barrier, shielding the crowd from the explosion and the match's outcome. When you think about it, self-destruct wouldn't have affected Sableye anyway, so good call from Chalice. She reminds them of their public figure status and the Explorer's new goal. My question being, how far Spinel and them plan to take this? The RBTs can't be the only trainers morally against this. What would the Pokemon League think? Could Nemona be sent to investigate what's happening? As well, is Lockrium a finite resource, or has Spinel figured out how to manufacture it? Why still are wild Pokemon being affected? Could these buildings be causing Lockrium pollution? How far do they want these spears to spread? Eventually, we catch up with the kids who dashed out of there. Not only has Ult made a full recovery, he's invited himself to tag along. Turns out he was in a funk earlier due to motion sickness from the bus, which was pretty funny. A creative way to subvert the viewer's impression of him. With Lico's blessing, Ult joining is a sealed deal. He's got an eye for Pokemon and maybe something or someone else. His rivalry with Roy grows that much deeper. With a new member in place, Pagogo points out their next target, which looks to be in ruin. This has been my favorite episode of the arc so far. I really like how it reestablishes the explorers as a threat. They started off that way, but gradually became something of punching bags for Liko and Roy, with Amethio, God maybe rest his soul, abandoning them altogether. With these items that resemble life orbs from the games, they've become formidable opponents again. As well, the party expands with Ult, who showed us another side of him. Yes, it was due to nausea, but it's reassuring that he's not going to be dialed up to 11 every time we see him. I feel like one's enjoyment of this arc, if not series, is going to largely depend on how much they care about the Lockweum plot. A storyline that could be at risk of getting stagnant, although now Lockweum's woven its way into society. How the Pokemon and their trainers react to this new power-up could help freshen up this plot point, which I think was accomplished here. With that in mind, I would give this episode a B.